Welcome to A Journey into Fitness. I'm Susan Rubenstein. Today's workout is going to involve using hand weights. You might hear them referred to as hand weights or free weights or barbells, but it's a great way to create some tension and tone on the muscles. What is important is to work on exercises that actually get you to pull and push a little bit of tugging and toning to those muscles so we feel stronger. Weight bearing, a word that you hear a lot, is really important, especially as we start to get older. We want to do exercises that create weight bearing to strengthen our bones. And the important thing about weight training is that not only does it keep our body healthy, it helps with posture, it helps with everyday activities and routines, from picking things up to just maintaining a healthy lifestyle. The important thing also to remember is when you have a little bit more muscle on your body, you're burning a little bit higher calorie rate. So your metabolism is working more efficiently. So those are all little cues that are great to remember and to understand. Now, the important thing also is anytime you start a new exercise routine is just to make sure you've cleared everything through with your doctor. If you've had any joint problems or anything going on, you might want to just run this program by your doctor and say, you know what, I'm thinking about starting some weight training exercises, weight bearing exercises using hand weights. What do you think? Now, before we get going in our warm up, I just want to also suggest, I brought along today weights that are just a couple pounds. There's a lot that you can do with a couple pounds. However, you might want to go up. They make them in a variety of sizes, but make sure that you build your strength. Meaning, if you start with 2 pounds, then maybe in 6 weeks, increase to 3 or 4. Then maybe 4 to 6 weeks after that, it's time to move up to 5s or to 8s. But do it gradually. Don't start with a big number and then really find you're having too much difficulty. Recovery takes too long. Start with less and then build from there. You might find that a lighter weight is too easy, so you want to start somewhere in the middle range, but work with weights that are appropriate for you. Very inexpensive to pick up, and a great alternative is grab some water bottles, fill them up with kitty litter or sand, and you can also, again, think about adding another 2 pounds to your weight training program with using just water bottles. All right, so I'm going to put these down. I've got a mat, I've got some water, so I'm pretty much ready to go. Just in a casual workout outfit, sneakers, all set. Nice open space here, so you want to make sure you've got nothing in your way. So we're just going to start moving. Any exercise program you do, you want to start with moving your body. So if you go for a walk, you want to start doing that walk with maybe some knee lifts. If you start going for a jog, you want to start at a slower pace and then build up. Even with weight training, give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to move actively. So we're going to walk in, we're going to walk out. Simple moves. This warms up the big muscles that we're going to tackle in a few minutes. We're moving the legs nice and strong. Good. Keep that going. Now I'm going to open my stance up. I'm just going to push out. So I'm combining lower body and upper body moves together. Sometimes you'll hear me use the word compound movements. That means when you're exercising or moving more than one muscle group at a time. So if we're doing something that involves 3 different parts of our body, sometimes more, that's a compound movement. Now we're going to tap down. This is also another word you'll hear about is functional training. Things that we do in our exercise class, we can apply to our everyday life to stay healthier, right? All right, let's reach the arms out, warming up our chest. So I'm just using all these different movements to get my muscles going, warmed up. You don't want to start exercising if your body is cold. You want to warm it up first, or weight training rather. You want to warm those muscles up. Good. Get the blood pumping. Now I'm going to add a knee lift. So all I'm going to do is widen my stance, bring my knees out. Good. Working my thighs. As I'm working those thigh muscles, I'm getting a little stretch to the back body. Lower back, through the glutes, a little stretch to the hamstrings. Now I'm going to trade this in for hamstring curls. So this starts to stretch our quads out, hip flexors, and warms up the hamstrings. Good. Now, toe tap, overhead, warming up the shoulders, back again. Good. And then I'm going to take the elbow and bring it across and squeeze. So I'm starting to feel it in my waist, in the obliques here. Good. Now, circle the arms around. This is a great one to do. This actually helps to start to tone the muscles in the back of your arms. Good. Let's keep this going. Couple more. Good. Now, as I reach up, opposite arm, and extend the opposite leg out. So we're going to reach, pointing the toe, extending the fingers. You can really create your own combination of a warm-up. Just make it fun. That's the important thing of exercise. You want to enjoy what you're doing. And come back to center. We're going to turn. Good. Let's do this a few more times. All right, come back to center. We're just going to move up and back. Now, I'm just taking this into a light jog. You can always walk this out. Do what works for you. Good. Keep that going. I'm going to keep that move. I'm just going to add arms up and pulling down. So I'm opening my hands and closing my hands. Remember, your breathing comes right from your belly. We want to use the diaphragm. Let's do a few more. Good. Now I'm going to do a side step for 2. It's 2 over and 2 back. Good. So lateral movement. Lift those feet up. Good. Let's do this 4 more times. 2 more. Good. Come back to center. Take the arms up and softly sit. So all we're doing now is we're just stretching. Now lift your heels and come down. So this is just getting those muscles warmed up in the lower body and the upper body. You can see you're pretty much working everything. Heart rate might have gone up a little bit. Just make sure that feels all right. Let's do this a few more times. Good. All right, so I feel warmed up. So I'm going to take hold of the weights. Again, I just brought along a couple pounds. Feel free to maybe use something a little bit heavier. Start with maybe just water bottles filled with water, or even do the exercises without. Now, today we're going to start lower body first, squats. Now, the important thing of squats is setup. So, I want to have my feet facing forward. Maybe turn the toes out a little bit if that feels good for your knees. What you want to do is roll those shoulders back and down. Now, the floating ribs, those ribs that are not attached, they kind of just sit right there, they're lifted. Weights to the side. Now, I'm going to sit back, and as I do, the weight shifts back into my heels. So it's almost like the toes are lifting slightly in my shoe. Now what this is going to do is help the alignment of my knee. So the knee doesn't go past the toe. You always want to be able to, if you look down, at least see the edge of your big toe. Weights to the side. So right away I've added some weight bearing. Dropping down and squeezing up. How many repetitions should we do? Well, today we're going to do anywhere between 15 and 20. You can do less if you're just starting out. If you feel like you want to go a little bit longer at the end of the program, just try it again. Add some more on. Good. All right. Nice and smooth. Now, weight goes back. Squeeze. So there's a lot going on in what we call the posterior chain. The back, the butt, and the hamstrings. Nice and strong. We're working here. I love compound movement exercise because they're more efficient. Because we don't have a ton of time to spend working each and every single body part. So when we can work maybe 2 or 3 body parts together efficiently and safely, it's a win-win. All right, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come down, come up, bicep curl, right? Now biceps are a smaller muscle group, so it's right in front of the arm, but this is great. Getting my lower body, starting to get those arms conditioned and toned. Now as I'm holding the weights, it's a light grip because I really want the contraction to be through the bicep muscle. Good. Eyes are forward. Keep your chin parallel to the floor, chest lifted. Don't worry if you can't come down as far as I am. You always just want to make sure that when you're coming down, the alignment of your backside is slightly higher than the back of your knees because we don't want to agitate those knees. All right? Let's do 4 more because I'm feeling the heat starting to build. 3. Good. 2 more. 1 more time. Good. Excellent. Now, step your feet in. Let's take it from a hammer curl, straight overhead, take it in and down. Now let's add some heel raises. Good. So we've already moved into another exercise. And look at, when I started the weights from the bicep into the shoulder, I included a heel raise to strengthen the calf muscles. So again, we've got some great exercises going on at one time. Good. Keep that going. Nice and strong. Focus on your breathing. We don't want to hold the breath. We always want to make sure we're inhaling and exhaling a nice balanced way. Because when we hold our breath, we create unnecessary agitation in the body. And we actually create a little bit of tension in the muscle beyond from what we're working. So lack of oxygen can really create discomfort. 3 more. Excellent. We're going to do 2 more of these. Again, work at your own level. 1 more time. Good. All right. So I'm going to bring back those legs. I'm going to step out laterally, drop down, come up, curl in. Step, drop, come up, curl in. So I love exercises like this because now I'm feeling the outer hips and thighs work and then the inner thigh as I step in. Good. Watch the knees. So if you're new to exercise and some of these moves I'm doing are not familiar to you, there's nothing wrong with sitting, watching the show, kind of observing what we're doing, maybe take a couple notes, and then the next time, give it a try. Good, do that again. Squeeze nice and strong. Step out nice and wide. That's it. So again, as we're strengthening the muscles in the body, we're also boosting that metabolism, which we know is important. Good. Keep that going. 4 more. Good. Last 3. We've got 2 more here. 1 more time. Good. And come up. Good. Shake this out. Excellent work. All right. Now, I'm going to take it and just open my stance up a little bit. So I'm about 2 fists apart, stance-wise, feet-wise. Shoulders are down. Now, I'm going to bring the weights up, turn and punch. So if you look from the side, we come up, we press out, come in. So I'm starting to feel my chest work, but as I pull in, I feel the shoulder blades come in. So I'm getting some back work right along that mid-back. Good. Coming up, pressing out. Now, I always like to throw in a challenge to my students and my clients. So what I'm going to suggest, maybe if you're ready for it and you feel like you've got a good centering of balance today, try it standing on 1 foot. So we're working different muscles when we do that. One that I love is knowing that now I'm working my core, which involves abs and back. Yes, it includes hips, thighs, and buttocks, but right now, with my navel brought into the spine, I've got a challenge going on for my abdominal muscles. So it's not just about those crunches on the floor, right? We can work those muscles another way. Again, back to the word compound movements. Good. All right, I'm going to switch sides here. If you find you're getting fatigued with the weights, just stand and balance. Good. I'm going to finish up with 4 more here. 4. Good. 3 more. Squeeze out. Remember, when you're coming out, try not to snap those elbows or those joints. Create space. You want to create length through your extension. Good. How about 1 more? Hold it. Put your foot down. Now let's take it back. 8. And press. Good. 7. Woo. 6. 5. Good. 4 more. 4. 3. 2. We've got 1 more of these. And we bring it down. Good. Nice job. All right. So we started with squats, which really is a great way to work lower body. Lunges are another option. Be careful with lunges for the hips and knees. You might want to put your weight down for these, and maybe you just want to stay with the squats, all right? So I'm going to start with a shift to the side, just so you see. We're going to step 1 leg back, so we've got a nice 90-degree bend. Now, watch what we're going to do. elbows bent. We're going to drop down, lift the elbows to the side, come up, step in. So it's back, down, up. So as I'm stepping back, we have a nice wide opening. Shoulders are squared over the pelvis, bending the knees. So again, the front knee, as it's in a 90-degree bend, isn't passing the toe. And we want to try to keep that back knee heading towards the ground underneath the spine. Good. Take it back, come down. And with the weights, I'm just doing a side shoulder raise. So I'm combining another smaller muscle group, shoulders. Good, let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more. Last time. Stop. Now hold it here. We're going to bring it down for 8 and lift. 7, we can drop a little bit lower. 6, 5, nice lifted chest. 4, if you need to open your stance up, you can slide that front foot out. Good. Couple more. Last time. And we pull ourselves in. Nice strong stomach. All right. Let's do the other side. This time I'm going to face you though, so you can kind of get a different perspective and angle on how the body's positioned. Nice wide step back. Again, shoulders and hips nice and square. Weights to the side. Now, I'm just going to change this around, all right? We're going to drop down, curl, out, tap up. The nice thing about when I bring the foot forward, again, muscle group I'm thinking about working is what? Abdominals. So I'm working legs, arms, and abs. And if you notice, this helps with posture because shoulders are down, shoulder blades are together. Step. So you really can get creative with your workouts, as I mentioned before. It's nice to kind of get that warm up in and have a bit of a plan. So, all right, if I'm going to start with legs, then maybe I'm going to add a small muscle group with that area. And then maybe I'll set and start working the chest like we did and some back without using the legs. So you can be creative. You can figure out what works for you and how much time you have. And we say, you don't have to worry. If you don't have a full hour, don't worry about it. What about 10 minutes? What about 15 minutes? Maybe build up to 20. What about twice a day for 10 minutes? You do something good for yourself. Good, we're gonna do one more. Step, hold, take it down, 8, 7. So this is just training the bicep from a different angle. Good, a little bit of balance is going on here as well. 2 more. And 1, good, woo. All right, so another great exercise I love to do are rows. So I'm gonna angle myself to the side again. Step out, foot drops down. Now, maybe you want to go a little heavier. So what would you do? Firmly grab your weights, double them up. We're going to bend the front knee, hinge forward, roll the shoulder back. Now, come back and go straight down. So my eyes, instead of looking down towards my foot, I'm looking slightly out, just across the floor, maybe a couple feet. Gliding that elbow straight back, pulling your belly muscles in. Good. Squeeze. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up to a row, kick back into a tricep, come in and down. So it's up, kick, in, and down. Let's do that again. Nice and smooth. Notice where the tricep's going. Up, isolate. Good. Keep it going. 4 more. 3 more, belly is drawn in. Last 2 here. 1 more time. Good. All right, step it in, roll it out. So sometimes it's nice just to stop, take a little stretch, shift around to the other side. So take a moment just to straighten out your feet, square the shoulders and the hips, hinge forward. It's worth taking the time just to get the setup correct, because then the exercise will fit and feel right. All right, shoulders down, weight down, and let's begin with a row. Straight back. So we're lifting up and back with the elbow. Keep squeezing. Good. And again. Eyes forward so there's a nice lengthening to the back of the skull. All right, we're going to add on. Ready? Up, tricep. So it's amazing how much in such a short amount of time we've already done, right? Good. Keep that going. So it's a good idea to count in your head. Don't worry if you do a few more on one side than the other. It all evens out in the end. But just important, though, is to stay present with what you're doing. So being aware of your form, being aware of how this exercise feels on your muscles, your joints. Let's do one more. And bring it in. Good. All right. So we've just done a handful of exercises that are great standing up. So let's roll those shoulders out. Now, I'm going to roll my mat out, all right? Also grab a sip of water as I do that. We're going to take it down to the floor. So it's important as we move through life to practice exactly that. Getting down on the floor, picking yourself back up, and really thinking about using some of those different muscles when we do that. So let's take some time for some water. All right, with that being said, come along, we're going to take it down. Now, we're going to start with an exercise that I love because, again, let's hear that word, right? What was it? Compound movement. Working more than one body part, more than one muscle at a time. So we're going to combine bridge, which if you'll see, feet are flat, knees bent. We're going to be lifting our hips, and at the same time, we're going to be doing a couple variations of a chest press. All right, elbows bent if you look out. Nice bend to the side, wrists over the elbows, palms in, and we're also going to combine some chest flies. All right, so let's start. Elbows out to the side, hips down. Now, take a deep breath in. As you come up to bridge, press it up. Inhale, lower. So keep those hips nice and firm. Good. And again, straight up, squeezing through the seat, bringing it up. Good. Let's do that again. 4 more times. Notice how I'm just lightly holding the weights. Sometimes I just let my fingers relax, so you might see them lift up. So that reminds me not to hold on tight and create tension in my hands. Now I'd like to come up and hold bridge, so it's a little bit more challenging. Turn your palms in. So we're nice and high, thighs are reaching to the knees, and we're going to fly open. So we've straightened the arms, but we're not locking the elbows. We want to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Now for those of you that want to challenge, move your left foot in. Woo! What happens if we lift that right leg up? Yeah, now we're feeling some extra work here. Good. All right, let's switch sides. So when we do a higher volume of repetitions like we are today, we're getting a little bit more of a higher calorie burn. Now, you would really want to do that kind of exercise with lighter weights, all right? So if you want to go into, say, more of a heavier weight training, you would want to do a few less repetitions and maybe even slow it down. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So there are a lot of different exercises out there. There are a lot of different theories. You've got to pick and listen to the one that's right for you. Now, last exercise that I love, we're going to get the tricep in. So we're hammering the weights towards the shoulders, come up, and tricep pull down by your side. So we come up, we hammer, and pull. Good. So we're just going to do one last set here because we're almost finished. And I got to get your stretch in. Good. Let's do about 6 more, just for time's sake, but feel free to go back to any of these exercises. We're going to hit this twice more. One more time. And down. Now, from releasing the weights, let's put them down on the ground. Circle those arms. So just reach your fingers up and circle through your shoulders. And then let's take the arms overhead. We're going to take a deep breath in. Slide your left leg out. We're going to draw the right knee into the chest. This is a great way to stretch out those extensors of the spine. Take a deep breath in. Come to the other side. Good. Stretch the arms out. And then walk your hands down. Walk your feet in. Let's roll to our side. We can use our hands to bring us up. Now, bend one knee. A little bit of a hip stretch here. We're just going to walk our hands out to the front. Lean forward. Opposite leg is nice and straight. You can always move towards that leg, reaching towards the foot. Come up. And then as far as stretching goes, if you need a little extra time, take it, even after we have finished exercising together today. And then let's take it to the other side. So remember, the important things to do, let's cross the ankles. And as we're stretching, I'll just finish up. We'll cross the hands, reaching out. Important things to think about are your warm-up, the space that you're working around. So you got plenty of room to move from side to side. You've got some shoes on. Select some weights that you can manage and then progress from there. Be creative with your exercises, but make sure they feel safe. Drink lots of water because that's a natural way just to flush out the toxins in your body. Let's release the neck. And then think about, when you start to take better care of yourself, think about your food choices, your lifestyle of how you eat, you know, what you're bringing as far as into your body for nutrients. That's really key. Because when we start to take better care of ourselves, we feel better and we make better choices. All right, so let's do a couple breaths here. So I appreciate you joining me today. And again, continue with the stretching or go back and review the weights. I hope you've enjoyed this exercise program. I look forward to adding some new things at the next show. Have a great rest of the day. Stay healthy, stay active. Bye-bye.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.